What's going on, YouTube? It's James with Shyhammer Fantasy Battle Report, and I got another game against Dan. Dan and I just finished up one of our games that you just saw in our last video, but we had a little extra time. We're gonna go ahead and play another 3,000 point game, and I wanted to try out a different list. I wanted to try out a Orc Edbasher Boar unit. Boar Edbasher? I don't know whatever. I wanted to put the BSB and the General in that unit. I want to make it as heavy as possible, as many points as I can fit in possible that makes sense. I go ahead and I do that. Dan's playing the same exact list. He has a combat army of Whitelands of Elves, Highborn Elves. And anyways, let's go over what I brought. The first picture here I got is my A-Rock, my Gargantula. He is 8 attacks, whatever. I don't even need to spew out the stat line, but you guys know he's pretty good. On the left over there, that is one of my Git launchers, and that's the only Git launcher I bring in this game. And then on the right, you can barely see it. I might have a better picture of it later. I do. Okay. Anyways, I have a unit of 27 Nasher Herd. So basically, these guys all get 2 attacks each. They're strength 5. They're pretty good, actually. Over here, I have my Horde, my Orc Edbasher Horde of 39, maybe 40 of those guys. I forgot how many I brought. That is not the BSB in that unit. That's just the regular Bannerman. And then in the back, you can see that is King Chicken Head in the background. Over here, I got a unit of Goblin Raiders. And then I have another unit over here of 30 Goblins. Cave Goblins with short bows. They do have Madgets, Nets, and the level 2 Shaman in that unit. Over here, I have a 20-man Forest Goblin unit. They have the Gift of the Mother Spider banner, or whatever it's called. And then over on the left here, you can see that is my character Longshot. Now, Longshot, I was playing with the points. He is 115 points. Now, the level 1 I brought with the Dispel Scroll in the last game was 115 points. So I wanted to play with the option of who was going to kill more. In the last game, yeah, the Dispel Scroll actually stopped one of the magic phases. But besides that, the Shaman only killed 1 eagle the whole game. He only killed 1 eagle, and he did chaff. And that was because I couldn't get enough magic dice. So I'm going to go ahead and play with this guy. He's only getting 4 shots at shooting phase, so we'll see what he could do. Over here I got my Stone Thrower, the Rock Lava, the Splatterer on the left side. On the right, that's a Git launcher I decided not to take along with me. And then over here, you can see that is my Giant, my Orc Giant. And then just south of the Orc Giant, you can barely see the picture. I don't know why I didn't take a picture of it, but you'll see a picture of it regardless soon enough. But that is my unit of Boar Edbashers. My BSB is in that unit on a chariot, so that gives my BSB 4 wounds, which is really cool. I could get his armor, I think, to like a 2-up armor I got him to. And I know what you're saying, it's extremely dangerous to ride around all that cavalry if you go through trees or whatever. So I brought the Stalker banner. I think it's called the Stalker banner, but if not, it used to be the Warden banner. It's the one that gives you Swift Stride, which they're already Swift Stride, but it also gives you the ability to go through Strider, go through dangerous terrain without taking dangerous terrain. So that whole unit has Strider. That whole unit has 2-up armor. My general's in that unit. I had to lower his weapon, magic weapons and stuff like that because I had to put points elsewhere to keep my army a little bit more competitive. Over here, as you can see, for my level 4 Shaman's also inside the Orc Edbasher unit. He has Curse of the Wildwood, Monstrous Transformation, the Beast Within, and Inner Rage. As for my level 2, he has Turn to Smoke, Shadow Miasma, and Orb of Blackness. Now, as you can see, this is kind of how the table looks right now. We have a couple buildings in the way. I line up like this. He still got the first turn. I believe I should have sat back a little bit more, but I gave myself a little room, I think. But I kind of did this for a couple reasons. He has his left flank. I'm sorry, you can kind of see what he has. I didn't really. I'll pull up pictures of it. But basically, he has 3 units of Elaine Reavers. He has a unit of the Knights of Rima. He has a unit of whatever the Silver Helms are. He has a big block of like 30 or 40 Sword Masters, and then he has a big block of like 30 or 40 Lion Guard. He has 2 Bolt Throwers. he has a unit of Coast Guard that's like 30 or 40 of them, and then he has the big Phoenix, the Frost Phoenix, and yeah, that's his army. You can kind of see it across from there. I'll see if I can pull up pictures and match them up what I just said. But anyways, his left side has all his cavalry, and as you can see, I have a little chokehold between my left flank and the building. So I put long shot there, and I put the A-Rock there. The A-Rock is basically clogging that hole. He's not letting those guys in. I have in my head what I want to happen. He placed his whole army first, so it allows me to place my army how I see fit. I don't think he expects me to have the Strider banner, so I'm expecting to charge in with the General's unit. Now, the General does have the plates of Tuk-Tek, so he gets impact hits, and then the BSB is inside the Chariot, so he gets impacted. So a charge is very crucial for that unit. As for my Orcs, I put them opposing the Swordmasters, and as for my Squigs, or my Nashers, they're opposing the Lion Guard. I'm going to try to do exactly what I said last time, which was Shadow Miasma the Lion Guard and let the Squigs go nuts. As for Vanguards, Chickenhead took his Vanguard. He comes up the right side here, and it's going to go ahead and do turn 1, and it's Highborn turn 1. Highborn Elves, he's going to go ahead and charge with my Phoenix. Now, I actually contemplated sitting here and like chaffing up the Phoenix for a turn and just fleeing. It was kind of a far charge, and I was just like, not that far, but it was a decent charge. And I was just thinking to myself, like, you know what, Chickenhead could probably give the Phoenix a good fight. I mean, Chickenhead has the Bane Beast Halberd, and one thing that was brought up was Dan was like, you know what, the Phoenix though lowers your strength by 1, so the Bane Beast is going to be a strength 4. And I go, well, actually on the magic it says, or on the magic item description it says always strength 5, no matter what the modifiers. So so I was like, go ahead and charge. I might get double wounds on him. I might actually do a good chunk of damage to him. And he charged anyways, and he failed charge. And I was just like, okay, that happened. He's gonna go ahead and take his Vanguards, of course, as you can see over there, and then he just starts moving up all his units. He has a very, like I said, combat heavy army, so he has to move up everybody. In the middle here, you can see he has his whole like horde in the middle of just elves, and that middle group of the pew pew guys, the Corsairs, or not Corsairs, the Coast Guard, they're the ones that kind of bug me because he could shoot my Nasher herd and just destroy my Nasher herd. He could shoot my Orc Ed Bashers, and he'll take out a good chunk of them before they get into combat. So I'm just kind of like, ugh, I hate that unit. On both his bolt throwers, I have no idea why he put them behind the buildings. Don't ask me why. I don't know why he put them. I think he was afraid that I would have took first turn. I don't know what he was thinking, but he tried to hide them from me more or less. But he hit them from himself, so they don't really have good targets. And then that's about it. His magic phase is going to go ahead and do 8 power dice. First thing he does is he does the Beast Within onto this unit of Elaine Rivers, and I'm like, yeah, whatever, you can have that. He uses the Wild Hunt, and he moves up his Lion Guard up a little bit more with the Wild Hunt, and that's about it. That was his massive turn 1. I'm not actually opposed to taking the second turn, now knowing like most people are going to place their army first. It kind of allows me to play counterbalance of what goes where, and I'm actually trying to use that more to my advantage. And that's what these games with Dan was actually kind of teaching me, was trying to learn how to use positioning to my advantage, and then also shooting, because I know Dan doesn't have much shooting. So turn 1, Orcs and Goblins. I'm going to go ahead and move up. I move up the Forest Goblins over here towards the Phoenix. And my whole thing is I'm having Chickenhead run up to the bolt thrower. As you can see, he's kind of behind the building there, out of the sight of the Phoenix. So the Phoenix is probably going to charge into the Forest Goblins. If for whatever reason Chickenhead did not finish his job, the Forest Goblins are going to enter the building, pop out the other side of the building, and start just like picking at people. The Cave Goblins are moving up as well, and then the vanguarding Wolf Boys, the Raiders, they're coming up that way as well, but they're going to go ahead and try to skim behind the units and go for the other bolt thrower. As for everybody else, I kind of sat back. Again, Dan has to come to me. I could outshoot him for a turn or two. Magic phase, I got a wonderful 3 dice. Go ahead and, you know what, with 3 dice I really couldn't do much, so I go ahead and I throw up the Orb of Blackness. I throw 2 dice onto it, and he's like, okay, go ahead. And I'm like, sure. So I throw up the Orb of Blackness right in front of that unit of Coast Guard, and they can't see, they can't shoot, and they cannot move through it. So it kind of messes up his reaction here, because he was planning on just keeping him with the rest of the units. The other, I actually channeled. The other 2 dice, I go ahead and I throw up Curse of the Wildwood, and he dispels it. Shooting phase, the long shot. He's going to go ahead and shoot, and he ends up doing 2 wounds onto one of the lion chariots. And then, as for over here, the A-Rock, I actually turn the A-Rock sideways. I don't care if he gets a side charge onto me, because the A-Rock's stubborn, and the A-Rock is in my general's bubble. But he's going to go ahead and shoot his web launcher right over here at the Swordmasters. I try to pick a center unit spot, so that way if it drifts onto somebody else. And sure enough, it actually hits him and does 2 wounds and kills off, or does like 4 wounds or 10 wounds or whatever, but it only kills off 2 guys. And so I'm going to go ahead and throw out the Splatterer. The Splatterer shoots at the same spot, and it misdirects over here into the building and just makes a nice hole into the top of the building. Probably killed somebody while they're on the toilet. Over here, I'm going to go ahead and shoot my Git launcher, my only Git launcher, and I kill off 3 more of the Swordmasters. Now, I'm doing the same strategy as I did in the last game, which was shoot the Swordmasters. I do not want these guys getting into combat in big, bulky numbers. So over here, my goblins, my cave goblins, they're going to go ahead and shoot, and they kill off one of the Elaine Reavers, because that's basically the only target they had. And that's about it for my shooting, and nobody's in combat. We're going to go ahead and do Highborn Elves turn 2. Highborn Elves turn 2, he's going to go ahead and charge my Gobos with his Phoenix. They take a terror test, and they fail, and they're going to run, and they start running towards the edge of the board. So his Phoenix fails charge, because there's not really any other targets he could reach or see. So he just fails charge on that. Over here, he moves his Elaine Reavers to chaff up my... He starts playing the chaff game, and he does it really well here. He puts his Elaine Reavers here. He's moving up his White Lions. He moves up all these guys in front of the A-Rock. He wants me to, like, fail charge, or move. I am trying not to move. I'm trying to just continue shooting at those Swordmasters. To be honest, yes, if he charges me with his whatchamacallit, guys, his Dragon Princes, or his Knights of Rima, or the Silver Helms, he's going to do a good chunk of damage to my A-Rock, but my A-Rock could probably live and finish off those units. The one person on this whole board that, on this whole left side, that's bothering me is that Chariot, but the Chariot's not in a good charge angle right now. So I'm going to go ahead and just kind of like deal with it, what he gives me. Magic phase, he got 9 power dice. He throws up the Beast Within over onto his Lion Guard. It goes off. He goes ahead and he throws up Wild Hunt with a tribute onto his Eagle, and he moves his Eagle right into my counter charge. Oh, this sucks. I was going to charge. You can see my General's unit. The General is the one with a checkered axe. I was going to charge those Elaine Reavers, and then if they flee, or if they don't flee, I was going to overrun into his General's unit with my General's unit and do a good chunk of impact hits, and then I have a good magic phase. And I also had a side flank too. So, and I was going to double hit my General's unit and the Giant, and probably the side flank with my Raiders or my Goblins, and throw nets on them. So I had this whole planned out, and he fucking put this stupid Eagle in my way. Ah, that sucks. Okay. He's gonna go ahead and his rest of his magic really didn't matter. Nothing really happened. So he's gonna go ahead and do shooting. He's gonna go ahead and shoot this bolt thrower into Chicken Head, and Chicken Head just laughed it off. He shoots the second bolt thrower at Chicken Head, and it fails to do anything as well. So over here he's gonna shoot his Elaine Reavers at long shot, and long shot deflects them all. And he's gonna go ahead, and that's about it for his shooting. As you can see, his Coast Guard got stuck in the back there behind that Orb of Blackness, and this is pretty good. Like I said, I have good positioning right now. The one thing that's kind of annoying me on my counter charge is my goblins are chaffing my Nasher herd. And originally, I want to throw the goblins into the building, either one of the goblins into the building, and one's fleeing off the table. The other one is in the way of my Nashers charging, and the 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 one positive effect from the goblin cave goblin unit is the nets. So I want to use the nets. And then, so let's go ahead and do Orcs and Goblins turn 2. Orcs and Goblins turn 2. I don't charge with the A-Rock. I don't charge with any of my units. I actually move back a bit. And he's like, no, you're not backing bit. He's like, that's not Orc-like. And I was like, I don't care, man. I could have moved long shot to kill the bird, actually. That's probably would have been a better move. But he's getting to a point where he's getting close enough, so I was figuring he might be chaffing himself up. Over here, Chicken Head did charge into the Bolt Thrower, and that's an easy in. Magic Phase got 7 power dice. I'm going to go ahead and I throw up Shadow Miasma. I forgot who I threw it on, but I got double 6s. And sure enough, I'm going to have to take a small template blow up and take out about 6 of my goblins. And that kind of sucks. And my Shaman takes a wound as well. I threw it onto the lions, the lion guard. And part of the reason was because I was hoping to slow him down a bit. That's what it was. So I go ahead and I lower his movement, so he can't move much. I did move these guys up in 8-inch range, and I start throwing out my fanatics, my Madgets. So my Madgets are all going into the lion guard, and they one pops through, one stopped short, and one went for the chariot that was hiding behind the building. And the one that went behind for the chariot killed the chariot. This one that went through only killed off 2 of the lions. And then I'm going to go ahead and start shooting. Shooting over here, these goblins are going to go ahead and pick off one more lion. And then the Gargantula is going to go ahead and shoot, hits its web on him. It drifts off. It hits a couple guys. I think it kills 2 guys. But not only that, it slows down their movement to a movement of 1. So they were like movement 5 or 6. Now they're movement 1. That's nuts! They can't do shit. If they try to charge, they don't got to charge for the life of them. Over here, Longshot does try to shoot the bird. It does 2 wounds onto the bird. Doesn't kill him off. The Splatterer goes, and the Splatterer shoots at the big bird, and it clips, but only the strength 3 clips, and it doesn't do shit. And then the Goblin Raiders over here, they're going to go ahead and shoot at the Coast Guard. They kill off one of the Coast Guard. My Git Launcher misfires and can't shoot shit. And then Chicken Head started off close combat, and he ate that Bolt Thrower, and he's going to overrun into the hill, and he's fine. It's going to start off Highborn Elves turn 3. Highborn Elves turn 3. He's going to go ahead and do his charges now. So he's going to go ahead and charge, I believe, the Elaine Reavers and the Chariot into my side flank of my Gargantula, and I'm like, shit, he got the Chariot in. He doesn't charge anything over here. He's still playing the chaff game. He still doesn't want me to charge or overrun or whatever. And he knows right now that his Lion Guard got so slow in initiative and movement that he's not going to even bother charging. He can't even reach shit. So he's still playing the chaff game. I do have one more chance to kill off that bird, though. And then his Phoenix started coming this way to go for my War Machines. My Goblins, on my turn, they actually... they didn't rally, but they only ran 2 more inches, so they didn't run off the table, which is great. Magic Phase got 7 power dice. He's going to go ahead and throw up the Beast Within again onto this unit. It gets off, and then he does the Wild Hunt to move them up, because he's like, well, I didn't get a chance to move on my turn, so I might as well do it on my Magic. Over here, he's going to go ahead and... I do the Backlash Scroll, that's what it is. So he does the Beast Within. I do the Backlash Scroll to mess up his Magic Phase to make him lose some dice, and he gets a 7 on the miscast table, and it only kills off 2 more to the Lion Guard. I was hoping for a big one, or yeah, like a big template, and suck in his wizard into the warp, or I was hoping for for him to start losing spells. Over here, his Bolt Thrower is going to go ahead and shoot at Chicken Head. It fails to hit Chicken Head again. He's going to go start shooting his Elaine Reavers into my Orcs. Kills off 1 Orc. He's going to start close combat over here. His Impact Hits alone does 2 wounds. His Elaine Reavers go, they do 1 wound, and then the horses go, and the horses do 1 wound. My A-Rock goes and he eats the chariot, and then the goblins go, and the goblins, holy shit, they killed off 3 Elaine Reavers, and he's gonna go ahead and I think he actually. I think we might have tied combat. He charged, he got a side flank, and he did 4 wounds, which is 6. I did 2, 3, I did 5 wounds, so I lose by 1. I am still stubborn. I'm going to go ahead and turn and face this way to make myself skinnier, so he has to decide who he wants to charge in. And it's going to go ahead and start off Orcs and Goblins turn 3, I think this is. I'm saying fuck it. Fuck the bullshit. I'm going to go ahead and charge. So I charge my Orcs here. I think I have to get... I don't have to get the eagle. The eagle's not really in the way of the orc horde. I charge the eagle though with my boar unit. I charge his lion guard with my giant, and I charge the Nashers with. I charge the Nashers into the Elaine Reavers, and I charge the goblins into the lion guard. Now, truthfully, and I call out the walk. Truthfully, right here. I messed up. I should have charged the giant into the side of the Elaine Reavers, and I should have charged the. That way I could have overran with the Nashers, and the Nashers would probably hit the Lion Guard. To be honest, what I really should have done, I'm looking at this now, what I really should have done is I should not have charged the goblins in, the cave goblins. Even though it's a side flank and they get extra attacks and all that stuff, they're going to mess me up. But anyways, you'll see. So this is how it all looks. Everything's kind of turning and moving, and what happened here is the Nashers, even if they wipe out the unit of Elaine Reavers, the Nashers are too wide to get past my goblins, so I can't overrun into the Lion Guard, so that kind of messed up my whole plan there. My general's unit's going to destroy that bird, and then the orcs failed their charge. Over here, the maggots are going to go ahead and move. One maggot decides to go right through all the gobos, and he ends up killing off 3 gobos, and that was it. Over here, these two, they just decided to one to run into the building, and the other one decided he's just going to die on doubles. Magic Phase got 6 power dice. I go ahead and I throw up Turn to Smoke, and I got it off. I lower his strength by 1. I throw up Shadow Miasma, and it only goes off and lowers their initiative by 1. So I didn't get to lower their initiative as much as I needed to. Both of those kind of sucked on my D3. But, oh well, at least they're a little bit debuffed. Over here, I'm going to go ahead and shoot the Splatterer, and it hits the Sword Masters, only kills off 1 dude. I go ahead and I shoot these guys, the Goblin Wolf Riders, and I end up shooting at the Bolt Thrower, killing off 1 of the guys, and the other one's still alive. I decided Chickenhead didn't need to go for the Bolt Throwers. I decided Chickenhead needs to help out more in the middle where all the combats are, so he drifted off. Over here, I threw my nets, so they're down 2 strength now. Then he's going to go ahead and do... I think we did this side over here first, actually. Over here, the A-Rock ate his Elaine Reavers, and now he's going to look at 2 charges coming in. And then over here, his Elaine Reavers killed off 2 of my Nashers. My Nashers ate that whole unit, and they got to reform because they really couldn't do much. I couldn't overrun. The other Goblin got in my way anyways. And besides that, it's just... I don't know. I should have just tried to make my Nashers... face the Lion Guard, but like make them a little bit thinner so that they could fit through. I don't know what I was thinking, but anyways, over here his general goes ahead and swings at my giant. He does 1 wound, and then all his Lion Guard swing. I did lower their weapon skill and everything, but they go ahead and they swing, and they only do 1 wound, which multiplies into 2. So that means my giant is definitely alive. He's definitely gonna get his swings in. The Lion Guard on this side kill off 3 of my goblins. And then my giant rolls a 5, which is 2d6, strength 6 hits, and I go ahead and I get 9. Out of the 9, I'm going to go ahead and swing, and I kill off 6 of them. So that's pretty cool. And then over here, my goblins go, they kill off 1 more, and then I thunder stomp, and when I thunder stomp, boom, kill off probably like 3 more or so, and I win combat, but he's going to be stubborn because he's a bodyguard and I cause fear, so he's going to sit there for a turn, and it's going to go ahead and start off Highborn Elves turn 4. He's going to go ahead and do this double charge here into my A-Rock, and sure enough, he gets in with everybody. Actually, he decides to go in with just the knights and have the helms fail charge. That's what he does. He's going to go ahead and charge his sword masters over here into my orcs, and he's going to go ahead and charge his phoenix into my splatterer. So sure enough, they're going to get in over here. His Coast Guard decided to come out of the woodworks and come this way. And as you can see, my general's unit's still kind of like just chilling over there. Magic Phase got 9 power dice. He always gets good in power dice, actually. And he throws up regen onto these guys over here. He does a spell that targets my armor and just destroy 2 of my boar boys. And it's D6. D6 hits, and it just goes straight into my armor save and kills off 2 of them. Over here, he starts off close combat. There's no real shooting, and he's going to go ahead and do a couple wounds onto my A-Rock. My A-Rock goes and kills off 3 of his guys, and we're going to... actually, I think... Yeah, I'm still stubborn. I'm still stubborn on my general's leadership. I roll the dice, and I rolled 11. And I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. But my BSB is literally 1 spot over away from my general, and I can't get a BSB reroll. And my A-Rock just runs off the table, and he's gonna sit there for a turn. And like, look at that, he gets a nice counter charge. Over here, his general ends up killing off my giants. That sucks. In all fairness, again, I played my giant wrong. I should have had my giant in with another unit, not the goblins. Come on, not the goblins. But and he also went for the unit that does double wounds onto monsters, but whatever. Over here he does 1 wound onto my goblins. He's having a hard time wounding because of his lowered strength, actually, too. That was the funny part. So I go ahead and I attack, and I end up killing off one of his Lion Guard, and I think we just sit there for a turn. Over here, his Phoenix goes. He's going to just destroy my War Machine, and he decides, I think he might overrun. I think so. And then over here, I use my Scepter of Dominion, and he's just like, oh well, I'm gonna just chop up your unit. So he chops up, like, look at this, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11 of my orcs. 11. And I was like, oh shit, they lived. I was like thinking, oh man, he has 20 something sword masters, he's gonna get like probably exactly that amount of kills onto my orcs, but he only killed off 11. He only killed off about half. My orcs go back and they end up killing off, look at this, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 of his guys, and I stick in combat. They don't run. I have the scepter, my general's right there, and they're going to stay around in combat. Over here, that was it, actually. Let's go start off Orcs and Goblins turn 4. Orcs and Goblins turn 4. I think this is actually our last turn of the game, too, because the Dice Dojo is closing right now. I'm going to charge my general's unit into those Lion Guard. Like I said, if I were to reform my squigs to be like not even in ranks, but just like 3 wide or something like that, I would have been able to charge in and got in some extra attacks against the Lion Guard. But I'm gonna go ahead and charge the general's unit, and I'm expecting impact hits to kill like 5 or 6 of them. You know what I mean? Like I got D6 plus 1 impact hits from the chariot, and I got D3 impact hits from the general. I'm expected to get a good impact hit phase and just kill off a good chunk before combat starts. Over here, I'm going to go ahead and charge Chicken Head into the rear of the Lane Reavers. The Lane Reavers flee, and I charge the Wolf Riders into the Bolt Thrower. And then, what happened? Oh, he fled, and he ended up fleeing this way. He lost 2 of the guys through dangerous terrain into the building, and doesn't cause a panic onto this side. And then my Madgit decides to go through these guys, ends up killing off 6 of my Gobos. And basically, this is kind of how it looks. My long shot came all the way over here because he knows the left side's kind of getting kind of SOL. My Force Goblins did rally, and they're going to go ahead and try to shoot. And that's the thing, too, is I'm just trying to get points right now. We're playing this as the last turn of the game, and I'm just going to decide I'm going to just blast the crap out of that Phoenix with all my shooting I have. Magic Phase, I got 6 power dice. I go ahead and I throw up the Beast Within onto my Orc Horde over here, just to give him a little bit more survivability. He's Strength 5 against my Tough 5, so that'll be interesting. I go ahead and I throw up Shadow Miasma onto these guys to try to lower their weapon skill. He dispels it, but then I go ahead and I throw up Inner Fury onto my Orcs and give them Frenzy. So now I'm Tough 5, Strength 5, Frenzied. This will be fun. Over here, shooting phase. I'm going to shoot everybody. Long shot, the Forest Goblins, the Git Launcher, everybody into that Phoenix. Long shot does 1 wound. The Gate Launcher does 3 more wounds, and I think the Forest Goblins failed to wound. That sucks. I almost got him though. He only had 1 wound left. Over here, my Wolf Riders just destroyed that second bolt thrower, and then let's go into the impact hits. Let's see what the impact hits do. Impact hits from all this chaos in here. 2 wounds. Are you fucking kidding me? 2 wounds. 2. Come on, man. I needed to kill a good chunk of these guys because they're going to be stubborn regardless. And I go ahead. His general goes. His general's like leadership or initiative 7. Has strength 7, some shit. I don't know. He has strength 7 normally. He had the ogre blade, but then he's getting -2, so he's strength 5 now. And he ends up killing off 3 of my orc boys. His Lion Guard go and they kill off 2 more of my orc boys, boar boys, and he ends up killing off 1 of my gobos. My general goes. My general ends up killing off. Holy shit! 6 of his Lion Guard. Holy shit! He gets 4 attacks normal, and I took the Sword of Strife or whatever, the one that gives him +3 attacks, and he ends up killing off 6. The BSB goes, kills off a couple more. The Boar Boys go and they kill off a couple more. And as you can see, he has like 4 guys left. 4. He's going to be stubborn. He's going to stick there for a round. As you can see, I only have 3 more rank and file Boar Boys. And he's going to start off his turn 5, and he's going to charge that side flank when he does. And he's going to have spears against my cavalry. That unit's going to die really soon. Over here, this combat, he ends up killing off 2, 4, 6, 8 of my orcs. 8. I kill 11 of his sword masters, and 3, 6, 7, 8. Actually, he saved some. So we kill 8 and 8. I think we just stick there on that turn, and then it's going to be turn 5, but we don't play it. We're getting kicked out of the dojo at that moment right there. We're pissing off the staff for staying overtime. So right then and there, we're like, dude, let's just see what we would have rolled really quick on that combat between the orcs and the swordmasters. And with my debuff still on, or my buff still on where I'm still higher toughness, he couldn't wound that many, and I ended up destroying his whole swordmaster unit. But he would have killed off my general's unit, and that was going to be the majority of the points right there. His Phoenix wouldn't have been able to do shit. I would have been able to kill this Phoenix. So overall, yeah, look, he killed. I'm sorry, I did take pictures. He killed off 3 of my guys here, and I ended up killing off the rest of his unit here. Like I said, he would have. I mean, it's actually looking very good for the orcs and goblins. I do have a unit of squigs left, and then he doesn't have that many Lion Guard left. His general's still alive, though. My general's going to die in this turn or so. Maybe. Who knows? I mean, I might just flee because he's going to have ranks to side charge and probably kill off the rest of my boar boys. But overall, Dan did a good job chaffing me up. I think I needed some counter chaff. It looks like an orcs and goblins victory. I can't tell. He did, like I said, he's gonna wipe out that unit with the orc Ed Basher boar boys, and he's gonna kill off my general and my BSB, and that's just a lot of fucking points. That's a lot. I mean, if my general was, let's say, like 300 plus 100 for being the general, and then my BSB is an extra 100, and then he's like 200 plus like another 40 for the chariot or some shit like that, somewhere around there. Just between the both of them, that's gonna be 740 points he's gonna take, and then to top it off, let's just say the boar chariot or the boar boy unit is 500 points. That's about 1,200 points he's gonna take at that one charge, that one flank charge he has. As for what I had left, I had my orc horde with only 15 of them left, or 16 of them left. I do have my level 4 still alive. I do still have Chicken Head's coming up the rear. I do have the Forest Goblins, and the Forest Goblins and Longshot might just kill that bird off, the Phoenix right off. He doesn't really have much of his cavalry left. He has no chariots left. He has no bolt throwers left. All he really had left was his general, that unit of Coast Guard, and then he has a couple knights on the left side that could just side flank my unit right here too, but he didn't get a chance to because it's the end of the game basically. So like I said, it could be really close. He could be winning. I could be winning. Who knows? But overall, it was a very interesting game. It was interesting to see the Boar Boys have a chance to do something. And like I said, the combo with that banner allowing them to charge into the woods and also have count ranks in the woods, that's kind of cool. It's a cool little bonus. I prefer having my general on the Wyvern. I think it's a lot more fun. As for my MVP, honestly, I'm giving my MVP to the Goblins, even though they kind of messed me up, to be honest. No, I take it back. I'm giving my MVP to the Orc Horde. My Orcs just held it down against the Sword Masters, and they just they destroyed that whole unit of Sword Masters. I want to give it to the Goblins. I really want to give it to the level 2 Shaman because he lowered the strength and toughness or he lowered the strength of the Lion Guard, and then my other guy lowered the strength with nets, and that whole unit with just debuffs alone, they couldn't kill shit. They were having a hard time killing the giant. They had a hard time killing any of my Boar Boys. They had a hard time just killing the Goblins. I got them down to, I think, like from a strength 6 down to a strength 4. And that was just pissing them off. Yeah, I got to give it to him. Longshot did a lot better. I think he didn't really kill anybody, but he weakened up a lot of units. He weakened up the Chariot. He weakened up the Phoenix. He weakened up the Eagle, which was a lot better than the freaking Goblin Shaman did in the last game. The only difference is the Dispel Scroll's kind of crucial. And I know I could take a 50-point scroll, but then I have to upgrade Longshot into a Lord to take another 50-point item, which is really not worth it. And then I guess I could take a Shaman Lord on a mount, and then he could take the Skull Splitter. That's interesting. Anyways, that's way too many points though. And then the Forest Goblins, I kind of just didn't use them right. I should have just done what I normally do and just put them straight for the forest and just have them shoot at people. But I was afraid that his Lion Guard were just going to destroy my Forest Goblins. Anyways, guys, I'm kind of rambling now. MVP, it's undecided really because of the Orcs and Goblins I liked, or the Orc Head Bashers I liked, and then also the Goblin Shaman I liked. So I'm going to give it to both of them. And besides that, guys, if you have any comments or feedback, leave it down below. And if you guys have a different opinion on who should have won that MVP, just put it down below. The one thing I feel like I kind of missed out on this game was having that second Gate Launcher. It would have killed off a little bit more before it got into combat. And yeah, like I said, I wasn't really fond of having that giant block of Orc Boar Boys, just because they didn't kill as much as they needed to for the amount of points that they cost. That's the truth. That's just the bottom line. Anyways, guys, hope you enjoyed this, and I have another game in the bank coming up. It's me versus my brother, his Ogre army, and that one's a doozy of a game. I'll see you guys then. Take care. Peace.